Austraeoh by Imploding Colon, read by Deathlight, Chapter 131, Gears. My name's Flower Gears. The teenage filly murmured. It's evening, and her trembling face leaned over a half-eaten bowl of soup in the center of the visiting Polly suite in Governor Mentel's building. Through the cloak that obscured her in the streets in East New Ring. The young unicorn's yellow coat and petite cutie mark of pink cogs were exposed to the hovering lantern overhead. Her silver-white mane was frayed at the edges, and heavy bags hung under her eyes. I am 14 years old, and I was studying to become an engineer of seed planting devices in Enterprise University. You mean the place of learning in the Western District? Stillteeth remarked thoughtfully. He trotted over and poured more broth into her bowl before carrying the pot of soup back into the suit's kitchen. I've been there before. That is, years ago, before this intimidating wall was erected. It's been 4 days since I snuck my way over to this side. Flower Gears stammered between desperate slurps of soup. Every unicorn in East New Ring is convinced that the Western Darkstanians are out to overthrow Governor Mentel and claim the pit of the sunken obelisk for themselves. That couldn't possibly be further from the truth. It shocks me how angry the citizens are over here. Well, I imagine you're wearing them out some, Rainbow Dash said from where she hovered in the middle of the room. Flower Gears looked nervously up at her. Huh? How? Well, the way you're gabbing, girl. Rainbow waved her forelimbs. Goddess awful inquisition. Why aren't you who is Flower Gears, talking like you got marbles in your mouth? The filly winced at that. It's complicated. I know that I'm past the age of industrial ascension, but I didn't have my parents around to perform the linguistic ceremony. Why is that? Flower Gears picked at the soup as her cheeks went red. I haven't seen them for nearly 2 years. Stillteeth's midnight brow furrowed. 2 years? Extended summer camp? Rainbow Dash asked. Not exactly. I've been ushered to a special learning center. What kind of learning center? Flower Gears fidgeted, her eyes locked in Rainbow's blurring wings. That is, what's the matter? It's just... She took a deep breath for composure. I'm not used to seeing, well... Oh, heh. Rainbow rolled her eyes and smirked from where she hovered. It's okay, you'll get used to it. Seriously, don't mind me. The auditors of the smoggy place keep me from feeling the air outside. Oh, okay, Flower Gears cleared her throat and continued. I and several other young unicorns were chosen to participate in an experimental new study program, just a block away from the pit where the obelisk used to be. Experimental? In what way? Stillteeth asked. We were to study in peer groups without the age of unicorns had grown past the age of industrial ascension. Still, though, in between thorough reading and engineering projects, we were asked to report to an overseer responsible for monitoring our bunker. Rainbow Dash raised an eyebrow. Bunker? Allow me to guess. Stillteeth adjusted the brim of his hat and leaned against the table. This overseer was a citizen who followed him who would be Duke Zobnatter. Flower Gears bit her lip. Hey, come on! Rainbow spoke, managing a soft smile. You can trust us. I know it looks as scary as heck over there with his baffling trench coat, but we're actually the good guys. Rainbow turned and gave her tail a flick. See? Rainbows. We're totally friendly. Stillteeth merely sighed. They never told us much, but as soon as I heard Duke Zobnatter make one of his speeches on the side of the wall, I knew that the overseers had been working for him. What made you think that? Stillteeth inquired. Because of the way Zobnatter talks. It's just like the overseers. It's also a lot like the books they make us read. She looked up at Rainbow and the constable. It's full of all these lessons about finding the inner flaws within yourself and bringing them to the surface so that we can be cleansed and made into good industrialists. Sounds quite radical to me. Stillteeth muttered. Rainbow Dash frowned at him. That's your word for everything! I've seen this sort of thing before. When there's a period of political turmoil, a power-hungry individual will round up the local youths and indoctrinate them to his own ambitious agenda. That way, in an event of a future power vacuum, he'll have fresh, zealot recruits able and willing to fill in the gaps of his dogmatic ranks. Only they're not around to do something like that. Stilty's aquamarine eyes narrowed. How do you mean? Only that, well, one moment, there are other ponies studying with me, and then the next moment they're gone. She gulped. A lot of them are older than me, some of them younger, but I'll wake up and they'll be gone. The overseer talks as if nothing changed, and when I ask him where my friends went, her face scrunched up as if in pain. Yeah? Rainbow Dash leaned in from where she hovered. What happens? He asked me if I really wish to stay alive or not. Still Teeth and Rainbow Dash said nothing. Just then, the lights went out. Ah! Flarkers flew out of her seat, knocking the chair over as she rushed over to Stilty's side and clung to his coattails. What's happening? Are they here? Is who here? Rainbow Dash asked in the darkness. Flarkers whimpered. They'll know I ran out of the bunker. Relax. Stilty unemotionally grunted. I imagine it's just a search for the absence of the obelisk in the center of New Ring. Sure enough, a few seconds later, the lights flicker back on. Flarkers excelled in relief, but she still trembled visibly. Something's got you really freaked out, girl. And I don't like it one stinking bit. Let's not resort to rash actions. Hey, who says I'm gonna do something rash or impulsive? Stilty merely stared at her. Rainbow Dash folded her limbs in a pout. As if you don't got a single impulsive bone in your body, Steely. Actually, most of my skeletal structure has been comprised of Megasteel alloys since I recovered from the collapsing building. Oh, go eat your hat! Are you going to tell Governor Minto? Flower Gears inquired, still clinging to Steel Teeth. Maybe a lot of Darksteinians in the west half of the city don't think she's doing the best job, but I know she's got more power than the Duke. Maybe she can help me find my brother. Rainbow's ruby eyes narrowed. Your brother? The filly nodded. He and I were ushered from our apartment flat on the same day. He went to a younger study program in a bunker across the street from mine. Every day, for a year and a half, I can see him through the southernmost window. But then, just a few months ago, I couldn't see him anymore. I started to worry, and when Pony started graduating and being taken away, and when the overseer started threatening me. Her voice trailed off as she clutched harder to Steelteeth's coattails. Steelteeth started off to the far corner of the suite, his nostrils flaring. You have done the right thing, as she who would be Flower Gears. I shall attempt forthwith to bring the sudden revelation to Governor Minto. Huh? He means... Rainbow Dash hovered down and smiled at the mayor's eye level. You're totally safe with us, and when all is said and done, we're gonna find your little brother and kick Duke Zobnotter's butt. Miss Dash. Steelteeth glared at her coolly. There will be not violent striking of any point's posterior, not now, not ever. Rainbow Dash groaned. Okay, so we'll make fun of his butts. But we're totally gonna find your little bro. Rainbow swept a loose clutch of white bangs from Gold Petal's face. Okay? The girl gulped and nodded with a feeble smile. Okay. The lights flickered out again, utterly shutting off. Not again. Rainbow Dash grumbled, staring up at the darkened ceiling. It's happening much more swiftly. Most of last night, since you were unconscious, it went out just like this, but after more prolonged periods of time. Just what the hey does that mean? I'm not sure, but I'll definitely speak to she who'd be Governor Minto again. Try writing to her. Rainbow grumbled. Maybe it'll save time. She turned and looked at the guest once more. Speaking of unconscious. Steelteeth glanced down, out of exhaustion. The weak teenager had fallen asleep on her hooves, leaning against its rigid form. Oh. I've flown loops around lakes and scaled mountains for days on end. I don't think I've ever once looked that pooped. Exhaustion is subjective. Ever the poet. Rainbow Dash said, then blinked awkwardly at Steelteeth. With a remarkable show of gentility. The metal-toothed stallion lifted Flower Gear's slumbering form onto his spine, carried her over to a bed beside the balcony, and laid her down with extra care. He pulled a sheet over her form as Rainbow Dash hovered over his side. "You think she's making half of it up just to get a bite to eat and a place to rest?" Rainbow Dash asked in the falling shroud of evening. With the lights cut off, the apartment was a great deal darker. The first of several distant stars poked through the foggy sky beyond the balcony. Or could she be telling the truth about all that crazy stuff with the bunker and the mean overseer? She's convinced of it at least. I feel a sincere love for a sibling transcends most temptations to falsify the facts. I wouldn't know anything about that. No pony is without a shred of sincerity, Miss Dash. You should remember that. Rainbow squinted at him. Do you? Stillteeth merely trotted towards the door in the suite, adjusting his broad-rimmed hat. I am off to speak with Governor Mintel. There is much to discuss. What am I supposed to do? Rainbow Dash barked at him from afar. Hover here and twiddle my hooves? Well, some pony needs to play hostess. You, at least, have the teeth for it. He paused in the open doorway and pointed with an intimidating glare that Rainbow Dash could practically smell. Do not do anything crazy while I'm gone. Me? Crazy? Rainbow glanced towards her peripheral vision. A solid beam of lavender light was gliding straight out of the window and shooting over the darkened rooftops of East New Ring until it fell ever so faithfully into the deep pit beyond several rows of auto turrets. I wouldn't think of it, she said with a nervous smile. Stillteeth looked at her. He exited, paused, and looked at her again, then closed the door completely. Rainbow groaned long and hard. She finally touched down on her hooves, then leaned on the bed, casting a bored glance at the peacefully slumbering figure of the young mare. Flower Gears. Rainbow smirked into the falling curtains of night. Any pony with a name that silly totally deserves a second lease on life.